Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is the Wolf, and I'm casting a game between Styles, the red Protoss top left secures plateau versus his opponent KangasKhan, the green Zerg top right. I think I said top right twice, who cares. So close spawn positionings generally do not favor Zerg that like to macro it up. It's very difficult for Zerg, especially with backdoor rocks. It can be very difficult for Zerg that try to defend from timing pushes such as the 4-gate. So I wouldn't be surprised to see a 4-gate here. We are seeing a best of 5 for the finals of StarCraft Central Golden Under Tournament. This would be game 2. And spoiler, I'll do the box spoiler. If you guys didn't watch game 1 for some dumb reason, Styles won game 1. And actually, I'm not even going to do this. Styles won game 1, huh? Because I'm going to talk about it throughout the cast. I'll just make mistakes, and you'll hear it eventually, and then you'll be angry at me and wonder I did the box thing. Man, larvae are just not cute. They're ugly. But they can turn into cute little, not drones, not overlords, but zerglings. But they're not. They're just not. They are not turning. Man, it's cold. Put on a jacket between the two. Between this game and the last game, which has only been about 2 or 3 minutes. So far, I've learned that Ice Fang is a goo person. It's my fault. It is my fault for saying that. Pretty much. Yep. Yipperdoodle. Oh, I keep forgetting this damn tab. Production. The tab that I was requested to show. Man, I wish it wasn't as cold. Now I'm getting hungry. I'm pretty much just dying right in front of you guys. But I will cast till the end. We're going to see a pretty fast expansion. Great timing there by Kanga. Actually, I gotta say that was almost perfect. If he had put down the expansion, you know, a second faster, it would have been perfect timing. So I had to say I did come a little bit of Zerg sperm right there. Actually, it's called Creep Ice Fang. Using the Overlord to scout. Overlords are overpowered. Here's a good example of that. Was able to scout that. Well, I guess he didn't really scout anything, but you know what? Overlords are still overpowered, so whatever. Screw you guys. And we're gonna have the Overlord just hang out over here by the rocks. He's like, what's going on? And I won't do it. I'm sorry. I promised I wouldn't. My hands are cold. I'm not going to look around for a minute while I warm my hands up. So what do I have going on today? Not much. Tonight I'll be playing Call of Duty. It's already 3 o'clock somehow. Time flies when you're on drugs in your bedroom, shooting up heroin and everything. I do not take drugs. And yeah, not much is going on for both players yet. There's that gas steal I keep talking about. Kanga likes to steal Protoss or just his opponent's gas. I was kind of noticing something there, but I didn't have a chance to go at it. I do like that intentionally or unintentionally, a little bit loud, I'll turn it down. Intentionally or unintentionally, Styles let his Zealot wait until it was completed, because if you try to take out that extractor before it's completed, you're just going to be sitting there beating your arms against it. Protoss plating. I wonder if any of our buildings have any Protoss plating on it. There used to be an upgrade way back before the beta I read that used to give us plating for our buildings. Luckily for Zerg, they actually, I can't remember if they do or not, because the symbol's the same, but it's called Zerg building armor. Maybe only Terrans actually have building armor, so whatever. I can't think of any buildings that actually have armor though. It's kind of pointless to have down there. Although we can get shields, so I guess that's true. Man, shields are cool. Protoss is cool. I love Protoss. Oh, 2-gate Twilight Council. We did see this build. I think it was Hands Cold. Who was it that did that build? It was Warloose Lord or something. I think it was Lord. And he had really bad Blink Stalker usage. Like, he finally started using some sentries, which he should have a long time ago, and Chrono Boost. He kept forgetting to use Chrono Boost, like, right at the beginning of the game. And he finally started using those, and he moved in with an army of Blink Stalkers, and they just died. He didn't use them at all. Very sad for sure. And yeah, that's what it was. He went like 2 or 3 gates. Mostly Stalkers, a couple Zealots, some Sentries, and with Blink. He got really fast Blink. And so this is a big point where the Protoss players are going to choose to harass with Blink Stalkers, which can be very dangerous if microed correctly, or attack with Charge Loss. And Charge is pretty good against Zerg. It's not nearly as good as it is against Protoss. It does help against Protoss. The word I was looking for is Terran, though. Charge against Terran, that's a very key upgrade. I feel very strong for it. We do actually have neither of those things going down, though. We have a Dark Shrine. And I do know that there's some Zerg players that fear Dark Templar, and I could see why. If a Protoss player had good control over his Dark Templar, well, good unit control for any race is dangerous. But I do believe Protoss, when you control your units well as Protoss, they're generally a little bit more deadly than the other races. Dark Templar are a good example of that. If you controlled them perfectly, then they probably would never get detected, and you would just win every single game. Of course, that's kind of expecting a lot. Perfect is the word there that you should listen to. But personally, I hate going Dark Templar against almost any race. The only time I feel completely secure about doing it is when I'm going against a Protoss that didn't forge fast expand, or go for like an early +1 weapons, or robotics tech. Because if he doesn't go one of those things, odds are he won't have detection. Your Dark Templar will just win the game for you. Fortunately, did not move in with 6 Zerglings appropriately. If Kanga, I wanted to call him Skyrolos or whatever. If he had moved in properly with those, he could have probably done some damage up here, which would have been good to hit the gas especially. Did not save up enough gas for this. He's only going to be able to warp in 3 Dark Templar. That's not bad though. Actually, the gas spending was okay, so these 3 Dark Templar can be extremely deadly if used properly. The reason I hate using Dark Templar against Zerg, it only takes 17 seconds to morph in an Overseer. I know that if you control them well, if you blink in and shoot out Overseers, you can do it, but Overseers are pretty hardy things with 2 armor and 200 health, I believe. And they only cost 250, 250, 100, or 250, 200. Yeah, 250, 150, 100. I'm completely off there. 150, 100. So 17 seconds, 150, 100 is all it stands between you and being detected, or even 50, 100, because of course they've got an Overlord hanging around. Zerg is the race that has the easiest detection to them. I can't believe that. I don't even know how to pronounce this name. I can't believe he complained about how annoying detection of Zerg is. No, I can't say I quite agree with this. Hitting the lair, he might be able to take it out. If he does, then he'll definitely have done a very big thing. But as it stands, I don't know if he's going to. It's really, really big. He's got to get that Overseer out. 17 seconds can make or break the game. I think he's going to get the lair. There's a piece of fuzz in my face. He does get the lair. That was actually really good. I have to say there's a few things I would have hit instead, because now he's just going to lose 3 Dark Templar, which, although do not come close to the cost of the lair, both in what it did and how it affected this game. If he had hit the drones, he could have done the same kind of thing. He could have made the lair somewhat useless. If he hit the larva, he could have done something similar, actually. Dark Templar are really good against larva, because even though they have 10 armor and 25 health, Dark Templar do 45 damage, I think it is. Actually, maybe I can look here. No, I think they do I think it's 45 damage they do. Maybe it's 55. I think it's 55 after +2 weapons. They do enough to hit a larva in one shot. So if you actually focus fire a larva, you can kind of, quote-unquote, supply block a Zerg player from being able to do anything other than morph in an Overseer and then kill them. So if it was me, probably would hit the drones and then move to the larva. But as it was, he did manage to kill it, and now he's got some malnourished buildings. Going to have to rebuild his hatchery, and delayed the tech quite a bit. And this would be a good time if he had... Where's that Overseer? He's got to have one somewhere. I'm sure he killed it, so he has to have it somewhere. There's an Overseer somewhere. There it is. If he moved in with some Blink Stalkers and sniped that Overseer... It doesn't have to be Blink. If he just moved in with Stalkers and sniped it out, there would be a period in there of 80, 97 seconds where this Dark player could do nothing. And so Dark Templar, similar to Void Rays, if you're able to kind of delay lair tech and force a Zerg player to get defensive with his units and sometimes forget lair tech or delay lair tech, you can use Void Rays against their lack of AA from hatchery tech, or you can use Dark Templar against their lack of detection before lair tech. So that it can work well, but I would say that was kind of a mixed. That was mixed for me. The Dark Templar did do their job, but the time to go that tech path, did not get charge or blink, and then just sniped out a lair. Not horrible. I wouldn't. Jeez, they die a lot faster than I remember. That actually seems like it's a legitimate threat that your buildings will start dying. That Hydralisk Den is kind of cheating on just that one, like, minuscule amount of creep, I guess. Now, if he had, quote-unquote, sniped out spawning pool, I am doing the air quote thing again, then that would have actually made it definitely worth it, but as it stands, I guess he always had Overlord creep spread anyway. That's one thing I gotta tell you, Kanga. You control your Overlords well overall, and you've got good Overlord positioning, but make sure you got them spreading that creep. Personally, although I don't play Zerg, and like I say, don't ever take anything I say about playing Zerg or Terran and do it right away, but I would probably put all my Overlords in a hotkey group so that if they got attacked, I can pull them all back easily. And want to get lair tech and be like, okay, poop, creep. Poop. Hi, Billy Mays here with poop. Push a button, all your Overlords will start to poop across the map. We got some robotics bay getting done. We have some more burrow going on with the roaches. Pretty wise, I would say, despite not scouting well. That's something I would take away from Kanga there. He's not scouting very well right now. But assuming that the Protoss player did stick with kind of a more gateway tactic, you can force a Protoss player to move away from gateway into forge or robotics for detection. Unfortunately, there's just too many roaches here. They're going to be able to deal with these quite easily. The zealots are getting melted, and then the stalkers, they're just not adding enough on top right there. And so at this time, as the Protoss player, he really needs to back up. The fact that he engaged before the +1 was done, really bad. I mean, he's got speed going on with the roaches because of the creep. Sorry. Speed going on with the roaches because of the creep, so it's hard to get away anyway. But engaging the roaches where they have full visibility of you, a speed advantage on the creep, yeah, and then just engaging with Zergling or zealots, and yeah, I mean that wasn't horrible, but it's definitely not. It's not a step in the right direction to say. We do have. Where did it go? I'm trying to find it now. I do like the transfuse right there. I could. What does that do? W. Oh, that would be his camera, I guess. I don't know how that worked. I guess then this would be Kanga's camera. No, whatever. Fuck it. Got 4 Dark Templar. We'll take a look at the damage. 45 is my guess. 50 now with +1 weapons. They get the same bonus as Immortals, which I will prove right here. Take a look and see. Yes, 50 to 55, 45 to 50. Although, of course, they do different damage to non-armored. If you're shooting Immortals at non-armored, you made a mistake. You're probably gonna die. Immortals. Immortals are strong units. I'm not hating on them right here. I'm thinking though, Kanga hasn't scouted the Immortals yet. I would probably say 2 or even 3 robotics and just pumping out a lot of Immortals would be wise. Unfortunately, Kanga does like to go Hydralisk tech, so both players, take a look at the 2. He has no idea what's going on right now. I mean, he needed to see that was a Hydralisk den when he was up there. If he missed it, then that was very, very critical. Definitely wants to use those Overlords, Observers to scout. Now I'm looking for the other one, too. Oh, that would be an Observer. KangasKhan. What does he see? Ooh, that's even worse. So, both players, I would suggest that if you do watch this cast, which I hope you do, because my casts are for cool kids, you need to make sure to scout better, because you're both... Kanga, you got a stronger thing going here, because you're going, Roach Hydra is a very strong army. And of course, there's nothing really wrong with what the Protoss player is doing. Not enough Zealots, not a Sentry. 2 big mistakes. But realistically, you're both kind of playing blindly what your opponent is doing. Right now, he's making more Immortals, and they'll just get destroyed by the Hydralisks without any micro going on there. Does need a couple Colossus to deal with that. It's getting extended thermal ant, so I wouldn't be surprised to see a pair of Colossus come out. He needs more gas. What's up with that? 3. There are 3 Harvesters. I guess just spending his money wisely. Actually, Red is doing a good job staying on top of his macro. And he does have some Dark Templar just hanging out in the army. Against Terran, I completely agree with that. If the Terran player doesn't notice and just keeps fighting, he'll get destroyed by those Dark Templars. Slashy. Against Zerg, odds are they have 1 Overseer floating around. If you don't snipe it out well, then they're just going to die really fast. But here we go. Engagement going on here. Big mistake. Very, very, very big mistake. He's engaging with the Zealots in the middle and doesn't have... He needs 1 sentry. It's very important you have 1 sentry. Guardian Shield is so huge. It will change this battle completely. So the Zealots are not in front. Not A-clicking. Very, very bad. Allowed the Zerg to get 2 free hits on them. And then, of course, the Immortals, now they're starting to do damage. They have to make sure they stay in the back and do as much damage as they can to the Roaches. I don't think there's much they can do, though. The Roaches are melting like butter to the Immortals, but there are not enough Immortals. And now that the Hydralisks are within range of the entire army, clean up, everybody. That's it. That's what it was. The Dark Templar, the big factor here. Now that Kanga didn't have his Overseer over here, he's able to clean it up pretty convincingly. Unfortunately, we have a lot of Roach reinforcements. So besides bad positioning, the Guardian Shield would have really changed that for him. So now he's got, 14 seconds going on there. He's got to get his Dark Templar out of the way and do as much damage as he can. He needs to use the Dark Templar to stay in this game because right now his army is not looking hot considering he probably has no army. Yeah, he has one Stalker for army. And 42 probes if you want to count it. There. So he will be able to snipe out the hatchery. Not a bad hit, but realistically it's not doing very much for him. I mean, it's just he sniped out an empty base there. If it had been saturated and started killing probes there too, perhaps sniping it then walling off here would be very wise. Now trying to hide his Dark Templar, he's going to have to control them. If he doesn't, he's very, very dead. Man, I'm running out of liquid in my throat today. Very thirsty. Don't want to miss this though. Trying to take a drink here again. How lucky are you going to be? Not very lucky. Oh my god. Run. Run. Why won't you run faster? I love orange juice. Oh, other than the creep, I think maybe one's going to get away. Come on, Dark Templar. Okay, turn into the creep is not quite the wise thing to do. Oh, run! Use the cover of the shadows to protect you, and then get back on the creep. Goodbye, Dark Templar. I knew thee well. Red is behind very bad right now. I would say the biggest reason he's behind, right here, this is all he's got going on, it's just Stalkers. You can mass Zealots better than you can mass Stalkers, trust me on that. Except for like a full army of Stalkers, I guess, will beat a full army of Zealots. I hate Stalkers. Ever since that one incident where I was molested. There, I'm pleased now. I'm sorry if any of you got molested. And I just said it, and you're all like, why did I get molested? I would never get molested, though. I probably enjoyed it enough. I'm like, oh well. I always say to my friends who say something about me getting molested, I say, well, either last a long time and make it good, or go really fast, because I got things to do. Messed up, for sure. Tunneling Claws. Once again, getting Tunneling Claws and Burrow against as robotics tech. Protoss is the word I'm looking for. What race is this? He did the same thing in the first game too. Kind of get inspired, getting the upgrades up, maxed out an army. So I like how Kanga plays kind of consistently. He's got a strong macro game. It's just it's kind of like, good example, Hydra. You know what Hydra's going to do every game. He's going to 15 hatch. Almost every game he's going to 15 hatch. And what he does extremely well. Same thing for Kanga here. It's obvious what he's going to do. He's going to keep doing Roach Hydra, but if you're not careful about it and don't execute well against it, you're going to have trouble with it. I fear a man who did 1,000 of one kick rather than 1,001 type of kick, whatever it was. And so we do have some Colossus support. No Zealots in front, actually. That's what this army really needed, was just a few. And there's just too many Roaches. I mean, they're melting so fast. If he focus fired with his... Jesus Christ. If he focus fired with his Colossus on the Roaches better, then maybe... Definitely needed one more Colossus there. It could have changed the whole thing. If you guys noticed, most of the Roaches are getting down to like the 1 HP zone. You know, down to the very low red. One more Colossus, adding his Thermal Lance right there would have completely changed that. But I have to say, I still think the King would have won the game overall. I do think that's it, though. I guess he sniped out the Overseer. Good. He's still got a chance in this. Go Styles. I want you to win because Protoss is the supreme race. Man, Dark Templar are cool, even if they suck. I mean, they're good for some players. I think they suck. Unfortunately, losing his main mining base, that's actually going to kill him anyway. I mean, he's only got this going on here. Yeah, that's definitely going to kill him. I mean, he's going to kill his stuff here, but Kanga... What do you got going on, Kanga? Actually, killing out off this base actually did damage to him because this is still mining at full capacity. And so hitting the drones would have actually maybe allowed him to kind of stay in the game. What is that, like a penis? Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Thank you. I'm sorry for destroying your images.